Hello, welcome to 2021, where we open our services for the year with Shusho service today. Our service today will have ringing of Kansho, followed by sutra chanting of Juni Rai. Then we'll have a Dharma message from Reverend Mukojima and another Dharma message from myself. Then we'll have New Year's greetings from all of our affiliated organizations, followed by a New Year's message from Temple President-elect Bob Matsumoto. Thank you for joining us today.
Ichigo-jie, it means once, whether a meeting or a moment. It is a last opportunity. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first service of 2021. Did you stay up late last night? I know many of you may not have been able to get together with your family and friends on New Year's Eve, but I hope everyone was still able to enjoy the last night of 2020 peacefully and calmly. Let me take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation to all the Sangha members and the Dharma friends for your warm friendship and the continued support in the past year. Of course, everyone will agree that 2020 was a very unique and challenging year, which restricted the temple's gatherings and activities because of the unprecedented pandemic. We are still very much off balance because our everyday lives have been completely altered. And there are still many unresolved social problems and the chaotic presidential election, which have upset our usually peacefully daily lives. But during this difficult period, our temple leaders worked to find creative ways to hold the service and temple activities online, accepting any change and challenge so that our Sangha could feel the connection to and the oneness with our loved ones, community, and Amida Buddha, despite having to sequester at home. Because of their untiring efforts, we are able to deepen our friendship and the bonds more than before. Our experience of trying to overcome these difficulties together gave us courage and vitality to move forward to face our challenges positively. So I'm deeply grateful to be part of such a wonderful temple community. I believe that we can get through this hardship together by continuing to meet it in solidarity with one another. Let's make 2021 hopeful and bright together. Okay? Today we are observing the New Year's Day service. In Japan, this service is called Gantan-e or Shusho-e. Gantan means the first day of the year, and the E means gathering. And the Shusho-e also means the service on the New Year's Day, or practice on the first day of the year. But the Shusho-e can also be translated as gathering for modification or a correction. On the first day of January, we have an opportunity to start the new year with refreshed minds and hearts. We can do so by reflecting deeply upon our own selfish behavior last year and correcting our faults and improving our shortcomings in the new year. That's why in Jodo Shinshu tradition, the New Year's Day service is called Shusho, a gathering for modification or a correction instead of Gantan, the gathering on the New Year's Day. So now is the time to make a fresh commitment to keeping our selfish behavior in check and to think instead of others' happiness so that we can create peaceful society. If each one of us has this goal in mind, 2021 will be a great year when all the people will smile and be hopeful. In the year ahead, I ask you to think deeply about encounter. Yes, encounter. Because life consists of various encounters. It is a constant string of encounters with not only people, but also books, movies, music, events, nature, and much more. The famous philosopher Martin Buber said, "All actual life is encounter." Indeed, it is these encounters that determine the course of our lives. Every day, we meet with various things which influence us and shape our development and our lives. I believe that we can make our lives brilliant by being aware of having an encounter when we open our eyes and feel the joy of the meeting. So we can truthfully say that the encounter is the most important thing about our lives. Does this make sense? In the opening meditation, I shared with you the famous Japanese saying, Ichigo Ichie. As some of you may know, the great Japanese tea master, Senno Rikyu, left us these famous words, Ichigo Ichie. It means once, whether a meeting or a moment, it is the last opportunity. In other words, this phrase makes us realize that each meeting and everything we experience is a precious treasure that will never be repeated in the same way again. We should always remember how important it is to find value and joy in every encounter. If we waste a once-in-a-lifetime encounter with the joy, the moment will be gone forever. Keeping the spirit of Ichigo Ichie in mind help us develop our insight and reminds us that every morning we wake up and enjoy bird singing. Every night we watch the sunset. Every moment we spend with our loving family, children, and friends is valuable and worthy of our full attention. Even if we have to spend the time with hateful people, there is something new or important to learn from them too. In this way, the practice of Ichigo Ichie will allow us to lead a happier, more fulfilled life, even in the midst in this life-threatening and unpredictable pandemic. Okay? The cultivation of the spirit gives us the energy and the vitality to embrace the future without anxiety. Then we can learn to live fully and happily at this moment and acknowledge of the precious gift of each and every encounter. Also, if we associate Ichigo Ichie with the impermanence of life, this spirit carries even more weight. There is probably no one who can always be with us throughout our entire lives. No matter how much we love them, our dearest ones cannot always be with us because death will separate us someday. For example, after we get together with our loved ones, we tend to assume that we will meet again. But if our loved one gets in a car accident and dies, we can never meet him or her again in this life. If we had known that it was our last meeting, we could have said how much we love them and how grateful we are for them. No matter how much we regret our actions later, time never comes back. That's why we should accept the truth of impermanence so that we can treasure each moment spent with our loved ones without any regrets. Our lives are a constant string of encounters and separation. So we should make each encounter a full and valuable one. Although it is always difficult to part from our loved ones, we will always have one precious encounter which can never be taken from us. It is Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion. Amida Buddha will always be with us to embrace each one of us with the voice of the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, no matter what our activity is, where we are, or what hour of the day it is. Amida Buddha's vow to never leave us is our true spiritual support in this life full of meetings and partings. That's why we are able to get over all the difficulties with the strength, joy, and gratitude for Amida Buddha's existence. As we welcome in the new year, let's remain aware of the meaning of encounters in our daily lives. Let's all make a fresh commitment to any and all future encounters with a deep understanding of the meaning of the impermanence of life. And as today is the first day of 2021, let's sincerely appreciate our encounter with Amida Buddha, which supports us through our lifetime, and begin by embracing the new year to find the joy and the happiness in each encounter, and learn something new from each encounter, and treasure all encounters without any regrets. Okay? I sincerely hope all of you will make 2021 a valuable and enjoyable year in the spirit of Ichigo Ichie. Again, thank you very much for your kind attention to my Dharma talk this morning. Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. Please put your hands together in Gassho. The teaching of Ichigo Ichie makes us realize that each meeting and everything we experience is a precious treasure that will never be repeated in the same way again. We should always remember how important it is to find value and joy in every encounter. If we waste a once-in-a-lifetime encounter without joy, the moment will be gone forever. Namanda, Butsu 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 Namanda, Butsu.
These passages are a clear testimony, revealing the true and real practice. We know indeed that this practice embodies the primal vow in which the Nembutsu was selected and adopted. It is the supreme practice, rare and all-surpassing. It is the true and wondrous right Dharma in which all virtues are perfectly fulfilled. It is the great practice, ultimate and unhindered. Let this be known. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. Happy New Year. The passage I opened with is from Shinran Shonin's Kyogo Shinsho, and it's at the end of a section in which he cites many sutras and commentaries that tell us that Nembutsu practice, saying Namo Amida Butsu, is the path to the Pure Land. Because this is the only practice needed to achieve birth in the Pure Land, the implication is that other practices can be misleading if followed too closely. I thought of this passage and this topic because as a Jodo Shinshu Buddhist, even though I am one, I plan for New Year's thinking about how to get the right osechi rori, the Japanese New Year food, so I'll have good luck and good health for myself and my family in the coming year. In Japan, some households will replace their ofuda. They'll go to the shrines and get a new one and put them up around the house. And these are talismans that offer divine protection or luck at the beginning of the new year. Many of us Japanese Americans are familiar with the omamori. Often we're picking them up at shrines and temples as keepsakes or being gifted them by friends and relatives who visit shrines and temples in Japan. Strictly speaking, as Jodo Shinshu followers, we should not have such talismans or amulets because they're represent attachment to our desires. However, many of us, as you obviously see, I have some in my home, and many of us have them in our homes as keepsakes. As we enter the new year, while still in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic and the US in the middle of somewhat chaotic presidential transition, so why am I thinking so much about these good luck items? Something I saw on TV that brought this to the front of my mind was that this year, if you wanted to, you could go out and purchase a Amabie Dharma. The Amabie is a yokai, a kind of spirit, which is said to have come out of the ocean and predicted several years of good harvest followed by waves of disease. The Amabie told those who saw it to share drawings of it with others to keep diseases at bay. This past year, when COVID-19 started spreading, pictures of the Amabie started to be posted on social media by artists. They wanted to help remind people to stay calm and not lose hope. I feel this is a good way for those of us who practice Jodo Shinshu Buddhism to think about these kinds of good luck talismans and amulets that we end up having in our possession. Though we must put our trust in Amida's primal vow and focus on the true and real Nembutsu practice, I feel like we can use these amulets as reminders to help us keep our right thoughts. The Amabie can remind us not to give up hope and continue to follow the recommendations of the scientific experts. This is especially important now that vaccines are starting to be distributed around the world. Similarly, the omamori, like the one that's probably hanging in some people's rearview mirrors in your car, intended to be protecting you while you drive, but can also be a reminder that you should be driving carefully and courteously with a calm mind. Following this service watch party on this New Year's morning, Reverend Mukojima will lead us in a toast of Otoso Sake, which represents the desire to drive out the evil spirits that cause misfortune and illness. Although Jodo Shinshu Buddhists should not believe in superstitions, we should all enjoy these seasonal traditions, but try and keep those things in perspective of right view. As we enter the new year of 2021, I encourage everyone to stay calm and keep your hopes up. Though we are followers of Nembutsu practice, there's no need to turn away from the good luck items, but we should try and use them as reminders of how to live a life of gratitude with right thoughts leading to our right speech and right conduct. Please join me in Gassho. These passages are clear testimony, revealing the true and real practice. We know indeed that this practice embodies the primal vow, in which the Nembutsu was selected and adopted. It is the supreme practice, rare and all-surpassing. It is the true and wondrous right Dharma in which all virtues are perfectly fulfilled. It is the great practice, ultimate and unhindered. Let this be known. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you, and as always, be safe. Kotoshi mo yoroshiku onegai shimasu.
The members of ABBA wish everybody a Happy New Year by introducing the 12 days of New Year's. On the first day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 1 kaki from a member's tree.
On the second day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 2 bowls of oishi ozoni.
On the third day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 3 new onenjus.
On the fourth day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 4 Girl Scout cookies.
On the 5th day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 5 choir singers.
On the 6th day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 6 spaghetti dinners.
On the 7th day of New Year, the temple gave to me 7 odori dancers.
On the 8th day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 8 senior cookbooks.
On the 9th day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 9 chicken dinners.
On the 10th day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 10 pounds of mochi.
On the 11th day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 11 Bodhi tree leaves.
On the 12th day of New Year's, the temple gave to me 12 taiko players.
Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Hello and Happy New Year to all. I'm Jeff Sato, the committee chair for Troop 87 and the Cub Master for Pack 87. As we come to the end of the year, the Boy and Cub Scouts would like to thank the temple and its membership for its continuing sponsorship of our programs. Despite the temple closure and meeting restrictions by the county, the troop and pack are healthy, meeting online and participating in limited camping, hiking, and outdoor activities in compliance with protocol. We had 3 new scouts join the troop, and were even able to have 3 of our scouts attain the rank of Eagle while in quarantine. We look forward to the coming year with hopes of things returning to normal and seeing all of you at temple activities and hopefully Obon. The 8th point of the Scout Law is, a scout is cheerful. Shinnen omedetou gozaimasu.
Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. Kotoshi mo yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
2020 was a year filled with unexpected challenges that pushed us to think differently, act in support of one another, and reevaluate what is important even as a global pandemic, rampant wildfires, social unrest, and a contentious election shaped our physically distanced lives. But despite all of those circumstances, we came together and supported one another, and learned important, hard-won lessons about interdependence, humility, resilience, and above all, compassion. Let us approach the new year with hearts and minds of gratitude, and may your 2021 be filled with good health, much love, and good cheer. From the Mountain View Buddhist Temple Dharma School, Shinnen Akemashite Omedetou Gozaimasu. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. 新年明けましておめでとうございます。I hope we can get back to normal quickly so we can safely see each other in person at the temple this year. I wish for your peace, happiness, and joy in 2021. Please continue to stay safe and healthy.
明けましておめでとうございます。Happy New Year.
Good morning, everyone.
From Miroku, we would like to wish everyone a Happy New Year.
2020 was a tough year to get through with all its challenges.
We are very appreciative of the Mountain View Buddhist Temple for keeping our Sangha connected.
We are grateful for the weekly service watch parties, Obon at Home, Sangha Day Picnic, Keirokai, and Mochitsuki.
We hope that everyone continues to stay healthy and safe.
And we will be looking forward to the day we can all get back together.
Happy
New Year!
Hi, everyone. This past year was clearly a very challenging time, but it was also so refreshing to see how the temple came together to support each other.
This new year is filled with hope and an opportunity to continue to help each other through this ever-changing world.
From all of us in Yaba, Happy New Year.
Hi everyone, my name is Megan Nakagawa and I'm the YBA president. Even though this past year has been really challenging, we've managed to come together as a Sangha to support each other. I'm hopeful that in 2021, we'll be able to come out of this pandemic as a stronger community and be able to see our friends and family in person. I'd like to thank everyone for their continued support of YBA. On behalf of our organization, we wish everyone a healthy and happy 2021. And with that, I'm going to hand it off to the YBA Vice President, Evan Icho, to share details about YBA's upcoming spaghetti dinner.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a great holiday season, and I want to wish you all a Happy New Year. Thank you for your continued support of the YBA, and I want to remind you all of our Pasta Market Spaghetti Dinner fundraiser on February 13th. Make sure to save the date. For more details, make sure to tune into the following Putra's posts in January. Thank you.
Good morning and Happy New Year. For those who may not know me, I am Bob Matsumoto, the Temple President-elect for 2021 and 2022. I am looking forward to serving as your Temple President these next 2 years. This past year has been, without a doubt, filled with many challenges due to the pandemic. With everyone's relentless efforts, we were able to keep our Sangha engaged as much as possible. Without the work of our organizational leaders, this would not have been possible. Thank you to Reverend Mukojima and Minister's Assistant John Arima for bringing us weekly services and seminars into our homes, our Obon, Sangha Day, Keirokai, and Mochitsuki at Home committees for bringing these activities in our homes, and our Vision Committee for conducting their workshops virtually and hosting compassionate conversations. The Senior Outreach Committee, which was formed at the onset of the pandemic, has been actively making sure that our elders are being taken care of. I would like to give a special shout out to our current president, Doug Samra, for his hard work and leadership in getting us through the pandemic so far. Unfortunately, we have a ways to go, and I hope that when I take the torch from Doug, that I will be able to continue his great leadership to guide us through the pandemic. I cannot do this alone and ask for everyone's support. We have a great Sangha. I hope to be able to connect with everyone sometime soon, whether it be at a Zoom meeting or eventually in person. In the meantime, please stay safe and healthy, and again, Happy New Year. Thank you for attending today's Shusho service. Please stay tuned for a Zoom Otoso Saketos. Thank you.